Hey, welcome to the Church of the King's leadership website. We're going to take a few minutes and talk about the 4 E's of discipleship today. Actually, we're going to focus on the third one. We've talked about the importance of engaging, the importance of establishing, and now we're going to talk about equipping. And then later on, we'll talk about the importance of empowering. You know, when I was in high school back in the day, I was on the basketball team. And I remember at the beginning of each season, our coach would get us out there and he would, start us off with the basic fundamentals. We'd learn how to dribble again, do layups, foul shots. We'd learn how to get in the correct defensive stance. We'd learn how to do the bounce pass and the chest pass again. And my coach did that because he knew if he got the fundamentals, if he equipped us with the right tools, then when we got in the game and we put it all together, then we'd be a very effective team. And so what I want to do today is I want to help you guys understand how to be intentional about equipping and merging leaders. And I want to answer 3 questions: why, what, and how you do that. So the first question is why. Matthew chapter 9 verse 37 says this: Jesus said to his disciples, man, look around, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. You see, Jesus understood that even though he was God, he was also man. And so he was limited because he was man and how many people he could reach. And in the same way, we're limited because we may have a heart to reach the world and we may want to reach the world, but you can't do it and I can't do it by ourselves. And so what we're called to do, we're called to equip or to develop leaders who can equip and develop more leaders to continue to build God's kingdom. So the first thing, why, is, man, we're limited. And in order to continue to reach and build more people, we need to equip more leaders. The second thing is, what did Jesus do? Matthew chapter 4 verse 19 says, Jesus said to them, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. Jesus called them, was very intentional about equipping them. Okay, remember, he said, follow me. He didn't just stand out on the beach somewhere and say, hey, whoever wants to come, y'all, come on, it'll be fun. And he went specifically, looked at certain men and said, hey, you, follow me. He was intentional. And then he said, I'll make you fishers of men. He said, I'm going to equip you to do what I'm calling you to do. So what did Jesus do? He was intentional, and then he equipped them. And finally, how are we going to do this? When you get a chance after watching this video, I want you to look at Luke chapter 9, verse 1 through 10, because it gives us 3 things that we need to do in order to equip people. The first thing is Jesus, he's sending his disciples out. In verse 1, he gave them the authority. Man, a great way to give somebody authority, if it's in a small group setting, is maybe give them a chance to open or close, or maybe even do the whole lesson one time. Maybe you would say, hey man, why don't you take somebody out out to coffee and kind of see what's going on in their world and allow to give them a taste of what it's like to lead. Give them the authority. That's what Jesus did. The second thing in verses 3 through 5 of Luke chapter 9 is Jesus gave them direction. He gave them specific things on what to do. So when you give somebody authority, then you need to give them direction on what exactly they need to do. Don't just leave them out there hanging. Say, hey, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. You begin to give them the steps so they can be successful in what you're asking them to do. And finally, in verse 10, the disciples are coming back, and as they're coming back, they're telling Jesus everything that happened. And Jesus gave them feedback. So when you give somebody authority, then you give them direction. Man, it's vital to give them feedback. Take them to the side. Take them out to coffee. Get them on the phone and talk to them. Man, the way you did this, the way you led that small group, man, the way you're helping with that person through that difficult time. Awesome. Or, hey, maybe you could try it a little bit different, a little bit better this way. And what you're doing by giving them authority, direction, and feedback is, man, you're equipping them. And so we understand the why, the what, and the how of equipping, and the example that Jesus gives us. So you know what I want you to do now? I want you to get out there. I want you to be a great coach. I want you to be intentional about equipping others. Because you know what? If you do that, you're going to multiply your efforts, and it's going to allow us to be much more effective in reaching people and building lives. I want you to take a couple moments if you can and maybe leave us a comment. Let us know how this video is going to help you continue to equip people so we can multiply our efforts. Thanks so much. Have a great day.